Today on The Apology Gift.
The Sophia Ruffin W.
I was bullied by a soul. Like, get her out the way. Rejected. It would just make me so angry. Sometimes I'd be like, wow, it really took a grace of God.
And then,
What we talked about before, with my mother wound. Is it okay for me not to reach out?
You have a decision to make. Either you're going to be overwhelmed with anxiety because of the what ifs, or
this is an episode you don't want to miss.
Hi, I'm Lisa Sunshine. After years of panic attacks and hiding painful trauma, on my 30th birthday, I made the bold decision to seek healing through therapy. What started in my therapist's office that day has become a national healing experience, equipping individuals, families, and leaders to embrace their birthright, to heal without the apology they never received. I created a trifecta that changed everything: faith, understanding the role of neuroscience, and therapy. Today, the apology gift is taking up space and getting into good trouble. I would like to invite you to join me in opening your own gift of freedom. Let's make healing binge-worthy, shall we? Now let's meet DJ and Dennis, each of them beginning their healing journey with different dilemmas and different inner conflict. Today, we're going in deep because we all know family pain cuts deeper than most, especially when you become like the person who hurt you. Let's listen in as I help them embrace their authority to heal despite the apology they never received.
My name is Andre Carpenter. I am a licensed mental health counselor. Been married for nearly 20 years. I have 4 beautiful children and been doing this work for 8 years or more. I am so glad to be linked up with the Apology Gift because it actually meshes really well with the work that I do. I provide resources for healing, for trauma-related things, especially for Black men. There's not a lot of Black male counselors in the world, and so I know this is the place that I'm supposed to be in. So I'm thankful to be here to share my perspective.
You guys already know how I feel about the importance of men healing, how things been going since we Lannis got together.
Healing's not pretty.
When we talked about how we were formed and, how we assimilate into a culture when, oh man, if mom ain't treat me right, if dad ain't treat me right, then evidently something's wrong with me. And so that's when you shared there were some painful points in your childhood and just coming up that needed some work, needed some healing.
Yes, ma'am.
How's that going though?
I'm the opposite to my daughter and to my lady than how my parents were to each other and to us.
Right.
So I can confidently say I've broken most of those cycles.
Right.
So as far as my family dynamic and how I healed in that area as a man, I would say I'm confidently a better father and a better person because of that. As far as like what we talked about before, my mother issues, and you brought to my attention with my mother, and I could say I'm still healing from that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I said,
when you say still healing,
as far like I've forgiven her, but it's more like I'm at that stage. It's like, why should I reach out?
Right.
Like why do I need to?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel pressure to reach out?
No, it's just like, why should I?
As it relates to your goals, your peace of mind, if it's bringing you anxiety, where does the pressure come from? When you think about it and it makes you feel some type of way, what's going on in your heart? Do you feel like because you're the son?
I feel like it's just because it's my mom, man. Like, I miss my mom.
You miss her.
I want to be able to, hey, what's up, mom? Like, how you doing? But then it's like...
But how has that gone in the past when there was connection?
I feel like when I would hit my mom up or my little brother, they taught me as if I was who I used to be. Right? When I was living in that life and I was living, who I was in the Marine Corps, I wasn't a good person.
Right.
And that's, they still associate and they can't fathom who I am today. I've forgiven my stepfather, for example, who was abusive.
Right.
I feel like there's not really a connection in that sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
I chose that path to heal.
And so the little boy in you still wants a mom.
Yeah,
a healthy mom.
for sure.
But it doesn't sound like she's healthy.
Right. Because of her trauma that she refused.
Right. We talked about that, right? If you are focused on peace and conversations with mom and little brother don't add peace, you need to take that time and do what you've been doing. But as you're taking that time, what part are you giving to God to heal?
My resentment.
That's good.
I do it every day. And I know it's a process.
It's a decision. It's not a process.
All right.
It's a decision.
No.
We don't put ourselves in harm's way because we're not the martyr. We don't have to be. That's who Jesus was.
Right. So unaddressed trauma can manifest in a lot of ways. It absolutely can manifest in anger, can manifest in anxiety, depression. I mean, it runs the gamut. I mean, this is why people develop negative coping skills, or we call them maladaptive skills, or things that are negative to their life. In Black men especially, it could be worse because for healthcare in general, we tend not to go to doctors, let alone go to counselors. And we tend to have more or be exposed more to different diseases. So when you combine that with anxiety or with depression from these I don't want to say unrelated, but from these unprocessed traumas, you're just doubling down. So absolutely, yes, it can be worse for Black men than maybe other populations.
We all know family pain cuts deeper than most, especially when you become like the person who hurt you. Today, we're going in deep.
The last time we connected, you were talking about making some moves.
That's right.
You decided you needed to reconnect with your daughter in a major way. Tell me about that. How's that going?
Yeah, so not without its challenges, for sure.
Yeah.
But I've taken ownership of it. Never in a million years would I thought I would be a parent that's distant from my child.
Right. Like, it shouldn't be happening.
No way.
Because of the relationship with your dad.
Yes.
And how you were so hurt by that. Yes. And somehow, some way, you ended up being an absent dad.
Yes.
And so when you decided to go back to Jersey,
to New York,
start some things.
Yes.
You were met with some challenges.
Well, I really, because, most of the communication is by phone and whatnot, but being there and seeing the emotion and dealing with what you didn't do.
That's right.
And for the first time not turning tail and facing it head on and owning it. So, you know what, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I did this. However, here's what I'm looking to do moving forward.
Yeah. And it takes time. Again, when we're talking about the power of our decision.
Yes, ma'am.
And his baby is 14. Your baby is about to be 4. If there's going to be prevention, if there's going to be activation of making decisions that you are going to be not a part of the lineage that came before you, but you're going to start the new place.
Now, let's meet Sophia Ruffin Wilson. Sophia encourages thousands on a weekly basis as a trailblazer, minister, and voice for healing. Her story reflects the experience of many of us who in childhood faced bullying, felt misunderstood, and were left searching for a place where we truly fit in. Here, she speaks about overcoming it all and applying grace where a grudge once held that space. OMG, the Sophia Ruffin W. Yeah. Welcome to the Apology Podcast. And what we do here is talk about something that's really, really, really real. And that is healing without permission.
Wow, that's good.
Healing without permission. And your life, whew, what a journey. The miraculous works of Christ. If you were to define that, what would that be for you?
You know, my name's Sophia, and you seen Color Purple. All my life I had to fight.
Okay.
You know, and that's really been, like, I come out of the womb fighting for my life.
For sure.
You know, I talk about it all the time of being a failed abortion.
Yes.
You know, the more she tried to abort me, the harder I was kicking in the womb. And so I think that's so interesting, because she said she told one of her friends, this baby refused to die. And there was like a fight in me in the womb, right? And then coming out and navigating the childhood adversity, the traumas, the abandonments, abuse. I was bullied by adults.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, and so I was already just angry and raged because I didn't understand how adults can, like, just really compare compare you to your sibling or your cousin, or identify you and like you the target.
Yes.
So it was like everywhere I went, whether it was on my mom's side or my dad's side, I was a target. And I think because I was little, dark-skinned, and had these wild little ponytails. Just like, get her out the way, or like just rejected. And it just would just make me so angry.
And can you imagine now, as the healed Sophia, that these adults were worse off than you?
Man.
All they were doing was subjecting you to how they felt inside.
Yeah. When you look at it, and I look at my own life, sometimes I'll be like, wow, it really took a grace of God.
I feel you.
To be able to be on the other side of it.
Yeah, yeah. When we talk about trauma, and we talk about, you talk about failed abortion. When did you speak to your mom for the first time about the trauma you experienced?
Well, you know, we've always had a very close relationship. We had a lot of, you know, the hard knocks, struggle. I watched her resilience. I watched her persevere, but I also watched her love God. Like, she just had this intimate relationship with God that was just mind-blowing to me. No matter what she went through, she just always had like this strong faith. So she had the gift of faith that was imparted by just observation.
Wow.
One day, I was probably like 23 at the time, and I was like early in my walk with the Lord when I gave my life to the Lord. And one of the things that the Lord challenged me to do was to identify some pain that I had endured as little Sophie, that I had never dealt with.
Yeah.
And so one of the things was the secrets that I had been carrying.
Yes.
I had to have a conversation with my mom that was really very difficult.
Yes.
A secret you've been probably harboring for years.
Yes.
And once we had that conversation, to see her like just kind of light up and just be there, supportive with words, with affirmation, and with strength.
Embracing
what
you were sharing, just embracing you.
Yep, it just allowed that healing process, because sometimes you don't even know that you are angry or you are bitter towards a thing or a person.
Yes.
Until you acknowledge it through conversation.
Yeah.
And once we did, it took our relationship to another level.
I can only imagine. Wow, that was powerful. Stay tuned. You are not going to want to miss what happens later on in this episode. But for now, I told you, we're taking the apology gift around the world. Here's a sneak peek inside of one of our live event sessions. If you've ever been divorced, if you've ever been fired from your dream job, if you've ever thought the world of someone and they betrayed you, you got to grieve that. If you're not in the habit of processing your emotions, how do you grieve?
What's important when you're talking about grief is that anyone at any time can be hit with it. Sometimes it's a smell, a song. It's okay to grieve. It's okay. And for men, this is something that's a real obstacle for us, because we just want to get to going, and we just want to get to what we need to do, and we don't want to stop and process the emotions because we're socialized not to do that.
If you're too womanly to watch your man cry or support him as he cries, maybe you really don't deserve that man. I'm sorry, maybe I should say.
No, say it.
But that's just how I get about my wife. And she's always been very open for me. Like, hey, when you need to cry, come to me and talk to me. To the point where now, if I feel like listen, God gave us millions of emotions. Roughly, and the Mr. Psychologist could tell you better, but about a third of those deal with pain or sadness. Why in the world am I going to torture myself and just delete a third of my own emotions?
Wow.
That's a process I don't want to put myself through. I'm just going to go through this grieving process and get them all out there and then heal from there on. But we got to stop trying to subvert, go around, go under, go over. Just go through this process, and the other side, you will be better. The young lady just told you how God took us so deep in that process that it's like, I don't even want to go back to that process. So I'm just going to skim this one on the surface and stay where God wants me to be.
Yes, disappointments need to be processed, no doubt. But many people just don't know how.
So what happens with unprocessed trauma is, first thing we have to understand is all of our responses to trauma, or responses to life, come between ages somewhere around 2 to 14. So from a Black male's perspective, whether or not they had a father in their home, whether or not they were raised by a single mother and what her emotional disposition might have been, that will show up later because, especially for men, they don't see other men to pattern themselves off of. So either they fall into negative groups or they close themselves off and they shut down. So they become non-emotional. So they can either become angry later, so they try to get into relationships, but they don't know how to process their emotions in that relationship. And so someone gets into a relationship with them and they're asking, just tell me how you feel. Well, that man doesn't always know how he feels because he never had the opportunity to process how he feels. He doesn't even know where to start. And so it can come out in so many different ways later until they actually learn to sit down and deal with what they're feeling.
Sophia's going to chime in on this. Her words offer our youth a foundation for prevention, and for adults, an invitation to reframe old patterns with a mindset of growth, courage, and restoration. Understanding now unprocessed emotions, how would you speak to the 12-year-old Sophia?
The anxiety of, wanting to be accepted, wanting to please my family. And people that I thought, I should just love and who should love me back. And so I would just really secure her in her identity. To breathe.
Because you're holding your breath.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the next ball to drop.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the next disappointment. I can remember very similar situations and literally having to use my bonus dad's electrical extension cords to hook up to the family, next door because we were without electricity again.
Yeah.
And sometimes we would be without electricity and water at the same time.
Yeah, that's wild.
And so to live through that as a young girl, and I kept thinking, when is this gonna end?
Yeah.
Like we're already in the bottom of the hood. There's a new place.
How low can you go?
There's a new place.
Yeah.
So out of order. Like, when you see adults who cannot respectfully disagree with someone, they go straight to rage and anger or name calling and,
terrible.
Screaming and, and I'm like, good God Almighty, that used to be me.
But, and also the healing part, this is what I love. The same little Sophia that was mishandled by family or mistreated and talked about, just totally ignored, is the adult Sophia who is kind, who is a blessing, who is a giver, who shows up.
Yes. That's the healing power of God alone. And it is so authentic because you no longer allow their authority or their power over your circumstance.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sophia. That was good stuff. But what happens when you're on your healing journey and those involved in your story do not want to participate?
I want you to think about that, though.
Yeah.
Because if I have the decision that I'm going to forgive and healing is my birthright, I am going to figure out whatever brings me peace, whatever brings me joy, whatever brings me closure, that's what I'm going to do.
Right. Guess I want to know why. But what if I...
What have you done?
Make sure to join us for the next episode of The Apology Gift.